Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens are coming off such a dominant season, and you could argue this was one of Lamar Jackson's best season, and he got snubbed from winning the MVP award. One of the major factors that led him to be such an elite accuracy type of quarterback this year, didn't force too many turnovers, and overall was just probably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL this season, was the offensive line, right? They ranked number 4 overall in the NFL in QB sack percentage allowed. But with that comes a major issue this coming offseason. Currently, the Baltimore Ravens are scheduled to lose or potentially lose 4 free agent offensive linemen, one of them being Ronnie Stanley. Now, I know Ronnie Stanley didn't have the most dominant season in the world, but still ranked within the top 20 of all tackles when it came to pass protection. In the run blocking category, wasn't the best. I believe he was about top 50, but with that pass blocking skill set of Ronnie Stanley, that could be a major loss. And right now, it doesn't seem like they'll have enough money to bring back him and all of the other guys that they want to bring back. They're also scheduled to lose Josh Jones, Ben Cleveland, and Patrick McCarry as well. And on top of that, we just got some really bad news that the leader for Ronnie Stanley is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it just makes sense for them. Such a bad year in terms of, being able to pass block for him, Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Now, if you get Ronnie Stanley, move Joe Tooney back to left guard, have Creed Humphrey at the center position, that might make them one of the most terrifying left sides of the offensive line in football, which would not be a good thing for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, currently, as we speak, the Baltimore Ravens have roughly $13 million of cap space, and that's before any re-signings, restricted free agency, exclusive right tenders. Will there be some surprise cuts like a Mark Andrews? Will they try to extend Derrick Henry or Marlon Humphrey? Will they rework the contract with Lamar Jackson? There's a lot of ways that this Ravens team can open up some cap space to potentially be able to re-sign a guy like Ronnie Stanley, or maybe some of the other guys that they might want to bring back, like a Brandon Stevens or a Malik Harrison. But overall, they're in a very tough situation at this point. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think the Baltimore Ravens should do? Should they do whatever it takes to bring back Ronnie Stanley? Again, ranked 39th among all tackles in overall grade, but was a top 21 left tackle, or tackle in general, in terms of the pass blocking grade. Again, that run blocking grade wasn't where maybe they wanted it to be, but overall, this was a guy that was really productive when it came to protecting Lamar Jackson. Also was on the tail end of penalties. Did not have a good year in terms of that at all. But again, stayed relatively healthy. Was 9th among all linemen in terms of snaps played. And overall, we got to be honest, Ronnie Stanley is a good player. Now, before we get any further into this video, I do want to look at some options that they could potentially bring in free agency that could fill the shoes of Ronnie Stanley, maybe even the NFL draft as well. There are a lot of opportunities for them to go out there and fill those shoes, but do you really want to potentially take a step back? Ronnie Stanley did a great job. I mean, look at this play versus the Kansas City Chiefs and Mike Dana. He gets to the outside so quickly and is able to keep Mike Dana right in front, right? He's got that upper body strength. Great job by Ronnie Stanley, giving Lamar Jackson plenty of time to find that dig over the middle by Zay Flowers. And again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the family if you want more Ravens news throughout the entirety of this year's offseason, free agency, the draft, everything, right? Trades, whoever they pick up this offseason, we will be breaking down that player's film, and I'll show you exactly what they bring to this team. So if you want more of that type of content, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, join the family. Let's dive into some potential options that could replace Ronnie Stanley. Now, there are a couple of guys right away that stand out to me. Cam Robinson would be a massive pickup, but again, we have to go back and look at the cap space. The Ravens just do not have enough cap space to bring in a guy like Cam Robinson, who is actually ranked the 20th best free agent this offseason. And then Ronnie Stanley, according to PFF, is the number 8th overall free agent available. He's probably going to be looking for about a 2-year, $20 million average. with about $27 million guaranteed, maybe 40 total. And then you look at a guy like Cam Robinson, he's probably going to be asking for something like 3 years, 18.5 million average per year with 56 total. Again, don't have that cap space. There's Tyron Smith, who is up there in age, but Tyron Smith is a guy who actually had a pretty good year in terms of production last year. Now, he's probably only going to want a 1-year deal, so if you want a quick replacement, I think Tyron Smith would probably be your best option. Outside of that, there are a couple of other guys that I potentially would go for. Now, I just don't know who you want to take that risk on. Like, maybe you go for a guy like Dan Moore or Morgan Moses, bring him back for a year. That could be very, very interesting. But overall, the Ravens have some decisions that need to be made. Let me know in the comments down below, which one of these free agents would you go after? And honestly, you could probably move some guys over, like Alaric Jackson. If I'm saying that correctly, you could probably move him over again. He might be asking for too much money. Dan Moore, Morgan Moses might be a good one. He's going to be cheaper. Didn't have the best season last year with the Jets, but the Jets were pretty bad. And then from there, maybe Jedrick Wills, right? 1 year, $3 million. There is ways to replace Ronnie Stanley, but will you be able to get that production that he had last season? That's the biggest question mark. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think they should do. Obviously, we can make a part 2 to this video where we break down some other maybe potential positions of need in this year's NFL free agency. But let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in the next Ravens update. Peace.